On the 25th day of Kislev, we begin the festival of the 8 days of Hanukkah. Hanukkah commemorates the miracles that occurred during the reign of the Greek-Syrian Empire in the times of the Second Bet HaMikdash. They made decrees against the Jewish people, preventing them from following Torah and keeping mitzvot. Their money and daughters, unfortunately, were used at the Greeks' discretion. They entered the Echal of the Bet HaMikdash and defiled its contents. But HaShem had mercy on his people and saved us from their hands. HaShem blessed the Hashmonaim family with the strength to battle and overcome the Greek army. The day the army was defeated was the 25th day of Kislev. When the Jews entered to repair the Bet HaMikdash, they discovered a single flask of pure oil. This oil was enough to last for 1 day, but a miracle occurred and the oil actually lasted 8 days. For this reason, the sages decreed upon the Jews that every year we celebrate 8 days of Hanukkah, beginning from the 25th of Kislev. Some poskim explain that Hanukkah was established not because of the miracle of the oil or lighting candles, but also in celebration of the completion of the tabernacle in the times of Moshe Rabbeinu and the reopening of the altar by the Hashmonaim after its defilement by the Greek, which all took place on the 25th of Kislev. Now we'll go over some of the general laws of Hanukkah. Every Jew, whether male or female, is obligated in the mitzvah of lighting Hanukkah lights. This obligation falls specifically on the homeowner or head of the household, who is obligated to have Hanukkah lights lit in their home. The proper time to light the Hanukkah candles is Tzedek Kochavim, which is the emergence of the stars, which is approximately 15 minutes after sunset. For the entire 8 days of Hanukkah, it's forbidden to fast or eulogize. It is permitted to work, however, it's customary for women not to work for at least the first half hour of the candles burning, and some have the custom not to work for the entire time of the burning. The types of activities that are forbidden are things like sewing and laundry, etc. Cooking, however, is permitted. There is no obligation to have festive meals. However, it is customary to celebrate by eating special meals. It's obligatory to light candles, and one should even borrow money to fulfill this mitzvah. If a poor person needs money for Hanukkah candles, the community is obligated to provide for him. The minimum obligation is that every household should have at least 1 candle burning every night, and the more stringent way is to have 1 candle on the first night and add a candle every night for 8 nights. Any type of oil is acceptable to be used, however, it's best to use olive oil. The oil should not be made of a forbidden substance, nor should it be something from which it's forbidden to derive benefit. The menorah should be similar to the menorah in the Bet HaMikdash. Most authorities forbid using electric lights or gas lamps, but basic wax candles are acceptable as long as they have a single wick. If someone is using candles instead of oil, a menorah isn't necessary to be used. Ideally, the menorah should be placed outside of the house to the left of the entrance, but since anti-Semitism was so common throughout Jewish history and actually caused some problems for the Jews in the past, it became customary among many communities to place the menorah inside the house, near the entrance, or on the table. In many families, it's customary to place the menorah in a window facing the public, especially where many people share one entrance, such as an apartment building. In Israel, it's the custom to light outside in a special box that prevents the flames from blowing out. In most yeshivot and seminaries, it's customary for students to place the menorahs in the dining room, in windows facing the street, or facing the public. Lighting in actual dormitories is usually a fire hazard and should be avoided. The menorah should be no lower than 3 tefachim from the floor, which is approximately 10 inches, and should be no higher than 20 cubits from the ground, which is about 33 feet. Ideally, it should be about 10 tefachim high, which is about 32 inches. The menorah should have all the candle and wicks on the same level. None should be higher or lower than the others. It's customary to have an additional candle known as the shamash, which is used to light the other candles with. The shamash should be placed in a way that shows that it's not one of the 8 candles. It's prohibited to light the shamash from the Hanukkah candles. Rather, the shamash should be lit first. It's forbidden to derive benefit from the light of the menorah, just as it was forbidden to derive benefit from the menorah in the Bet HaMikdash, and also to show that the purpose of the menorah is for a mitzvah and not just for illumination. It's preferable to have the candles in a straight line and not in a semicircle. However, it's permitted to have a semicircle, providing each candle is clearly separated from the others. Leftover wicks and oil should be discarded after Hanukkah, since it's not allowed to be used for anything else. One should not store the used wicks and oil for next year, since there's a chance that it'll be used for mundane purposes by accident. There's different customs for when to light the menorah. Some light at sunset, some light about 10 minutes after sunset, and some light half an hour after sunset. Some specifically light after Arvit. A person should follow the custom of his household. If someone doesn't know, then they should follow the custom of the community. It's an obligation to put enough oil or to have a candle to burn for at least half an hour after nightfall. In exceptional circumstances, one may light 1¼ hours before sunset with a blessing. However, one should be careful to put in more oil or use longer candle. If possible, it's better to appoint an agent to light candles at the correct time rather than to light early. If one forgot or was unable to light at the correct time, one may light as long as people are still awake in the house in which one is lighting. One should prepare the wicks and candles before Arvit or before time of lighting in order to light the menorah at the correct time. It's best to light in the presence of many people in order to publicize the miracle. On the first night, 3 blessings are recited. First, L'adlik ner Chanukah. Second, She'asa Nisim. And third, GEHINNOM. On the other nights, only the first 2 blessings are said. All the blessings should be recited before actually lighting the candles. First, we light the shamash before the blessings to avoid any delay. It's forbidden to speak between the recitation of the blessings and the completion of the candle lighting. Hanerot halalu is recited either during or after lighting. First, we place a candle on the extreme right of the menorah. On the second night, we add a candle on the left side, and then we light the newest candle added first and proceed to the right. The menorah shouldn't be moved after it's been lit. If the menorah was lit in the appropriate way and was then extinguished, one is not obligated to relight it, but one may relight it without reciting a blessing. If the menorah was not properly lit in the first place, or it was lit in a windy place and blew out, then one is obligated to relight it if it went out within half an hour after nightfall. On Friday afternoon, the Hanukkah candles should be lit before the Shabbat candle lighting time. If one accepted the Shabbat early, it's forbidden to light Hanukkah candles. Mincha should be said before lighting if possible. We should keep in mind to put more oil or bigger candles on Friday so that they burn until half an hour after nightfall. We should try to light just before the Shabbat candles, without, of course, delaying the lighting of the Shabbat candles. When lighting on Saturday night, some authorities say that one should light Hanukkah candles before Havdalah. Others say it should be done after. One should follow the custom of their family. One may not use the menorah as the candle for Havdalah. If one is a guest at someone's house and is actually staying there, one should give the owner a small amount of money to buy a portion in their candles, and one may fulfill the obligation through the owner. On the other hand, the guest can light his own menorah. During the Shachrit prayers, one should recite the full Hallel every day of Hanukkah. Al Nisim, the special paragraph of prayers for Hanukkah, is added in the silent prayers, the Shmoneh Esrei, and also in Birkat Hamazon. If one forgot to say this addition, one should not repeat either Shmoneh Esrei or Birkat Hamazon. It's customary to light a menorah in the synagogue every evening. It's placed at the southern wall of the synagogue, in imitation of the menorah in the temple in Yerushalayim. Hanukkah is an important time to devote more time to Torah study. Many people unfortunately take time off of their studies to find themselves doing mundane things and activities. The ones that devote time to Torah study during this time receives the extra merit of those who aren't. This person collects the reward that were in store for those who could have studied but didn't. Moshe Rabbeinu has also revealed many secrets of the Torah this time of the year as well. Giving charity for those in need is a highly recommended practice during Hanukkah, so much so that the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says that one can actually succeed in healing one's soul from the blemishes of past sins by giving charity during this time. To conclude, Hanukkah is a time to be joyful and confident. The fact that we have an organized oral Torah today is the result of the Hashmonaim that saved the Torah's traditions. Were it not for their sacrifice and efforts at that time, nothing of the oral Torah, as we know it, would have survived the Greeks' religious oppression.